Hey, everybody. You may not know me, but I'm going to properly introduce myself. You can call me Miss T. I'm usually a very private person. I don't really share a lot of things with a lot of people, but I feel like someone could benefit from what I call my testimony, from what I know is my testimony. So here I am, and I'm ready to share my journey and document it along the way. In the year of 2007, um, I got pregnant, and for a long time, I thought I couldn't have children for one reason or another. And I thought it was the happiest moment of my life. But then along the way, my body began to change. Well, I didn't know what it felt like to be pregnant. I didn't know. So the things that started happening to me, I thought it was normal. So let me just start at the beginning. I knew that I had been sleeping a lot, but I thought I was just tired because I was working 2 jobs. I just thought I was tired. And I thought the school days were getting longer and my energy level was just low. So, I brushed it off and paid it no mind. So, I used to be a very small person, like a size 3, 4. So when I started wearing my 5 6s, I was excited. I was thrilled. But I was like, something's not right. So I went to the doctor, I took a number of tests, and okay, I was pregnant. Well, I found out very early, so it made it seem like the longest pregnancy of my life, the longest one ever. And I was like, okay, well, if this what it feels like, I guess is normal. Days would go by, I would be up all night because I didn't get sick in the morning. I got sick at night. Well, I'm thinking nobody ever told me that you could have morning sickness at night. Well, that still didn't calculate. It didn't register to me. I just said, well, okay, it's something I ate. Hmm. But that something I ate kept bothering me every day. And you know how you like to keep plug-ins at your house and, use the best smelling toothpaste and all this stuff? I couldn't stand it. The smell of plug-ins made me sick. I had to literally go through my house and get rid of all of the plug-ins. And so, as the months went on, I started having excruciating pain. I'm talking like pain like no other. I had never felt pain like that before in my life. But once again, I didn't know. I ain't never had a baby. I didn't know what to expect. So I just thought it was normal until I went to work and would pass out. It's like I would go to work for 2 days and the other 3 days I would be home. I just could not understand what was going on. Or I was have these tremors that were they were like seizures. That's what they were calling them, seizures. So I didn't know what they were. All I know is I'll be walking down the hall, pass out, or I'll be walking down the hall, I'll start trembling and shaking and wake up in the ER. I could not understand it to save my life. So, of course, my mama, she was right there every step of the way. Every change, every turn, she was there. And I thank God for it. And so, as the pregnancy continued, all of that continued. But then I started asking, well, is it supposed to hurt when I touch my stomach? I would guard my stomach with everything within me. I would guard my stomach. I was like, Lord, please don't let that happen to my baby. And you know how all kinds of things will run through your mind, like, oh, they got me taking all this medicine to keep me comfortable. What if this medicine affects my child? And I mean, it just was all kinds of thoughts running through my mind. And as the pregnancy continued, the ER visits continued. And I mean, They were just as much shocked as I was. I'd never known anybody to go through that much that much trouble, through a pregnancy. And once I went through, I got through the pregnancy, they thought everything would go back to normal. No, it didn't happen. And that was the beginning of my medical journey. Um, and I don't like to say that MS has me or lupus has me or fibromyalgia has me. They don't define who I am. I'm just going to start there. But I just feel like I could encourage somebody else. Well, after I had the baby, I still looked a little funny. I was pale looking. It didn't look like I was all alert. And I would still keep passing out. I would still keep having them tremors. I would still keep falling. I mean, they didn't know what was going on. So they would put me on different kinds of pain meds, and they would put me on different kinds of muscle relaxers. And I just can remember my mama just trying to keep my body warm because if my body got cold, it's just like it just made it 10 times worse because it's like my joints would lock up and I couldn't move. And so I went to the doctor and they did all kinds of tests. They tried to rule out everything. So my regular doctor referred me to a specialist, a rheumatologist. Well, in my mind, I thought that I just had to go see this man. He was gonna test me and I wasn't gonna have to go see him anymore. Well, that wasn't the case. I had the strangest experience in that doctor's office when he stuck that paper in my eye. I had no clue what he was doing. But anyway, he tested me and he did everything he had to do and he mashed on me. I mean, he made me hurt worse than what I was already hurting. But anyway, when the test came back, they told me that I had fibromyalgia, lupus, and some horrible arthritis. But it wasn't rheumatoid arthritis. So I thank God for that. Um, and every time I would get ready to go to the doctor or go through a test, I would say the 23rd Psalm because some reason the 23rd Psalm relaxes me. I find comfort in the 23rd Psalm. And they told me that I had all of those things and it still wasn't registering to me. I had no clue what lupus was. All I knew about lupus was that people passed away from it. And fibromyalgia, of course, I seen the commercials. That's widespread pain. But I'm thinking like, no, I can't have none of that stuff. I said, Lord, I just had this baby. I need to live for my baby. My baby need a mama. So we continued on this journey and I continued to try to keep my son, but it got to be a little bit too much. And so, of course, my family stepped in because I have a praying family. Let me tell you right now, their prayers get through. I have a praying family. And so my family stepped in, of course, and they took care of my little one while I tried to get it together. And, I eventually had to take a leave of absence from work to get myself together, to get the diagnosis, the meds, and everything together and get it under control. So that's what I did. And here I am years later, almost 16 years later, almost. And they're telling me now they just diagnosed me 2 years ago with MS, which now has me thinking, is MS what I had all along? The world may never know. But I say this to you, and I'm going to document my journey and I'll try to share a little at least once a week. But I say this to all of you that are out there battling different diseases, different autoimmune diseases. Don't give up because there are medical breakthroughs every day. And I know everybody may not believe in God, but I do believe that I'm doing as well as I am, not because of a doctor, not because of medicine, but because the God I serve. God definitely has his hands on me. And if you have a little bit of faith in what he can do, he will do it for you too. See you guys later on in the week.